So the quarantine is over, you've graduated college, you got your own job, and now you want to get your own apartment. But how much can you afford? That's what today's lesson is. I'm Mr. Boyle. Are you ready? Hi everybody, Mr. Boyle here. This is the first video for my financial algebra students. Let's get right into it, shall we? As you can tell from the intro, we were talking about renting an apartment. Now, what I'm going to teach you today applies to renting an apartment, leasing an apartment, and also buying a house. But we got a lot of videos to get through. So let's just first talk about the first most important thing. When you go to rent, how much can you afford to pay for your rental? First thing, these are general guidelines. So everybody might have a slightly different situation. This is just a general rule. You should really be spending somewhere between 25 to 30% of your gross income on rent. There might be some people that can go higher. There might be some people that go lower, but these are just general guidelines. So now let's just get into a problem, shall we? So this is just something I came up with. Let's say you're making $18 per hour and you're working a full 40-hour week. How much can you afford to spend on rent? Well, the first thing you got to do is figure out how much money you make. So if I do $18 times 40 hours, I'm making $720 a week. And remember, this is gross. We're not talking about taking money out for taxes or anything like that. Okay, that would be $720 per week. That doesn't really help us because you don't pay rent every week, you pay it every month. So I need to figure out how much I make in a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first figure out how much I make in a year. I'm going to multiply what I make in a week times 52, and now we have our annual salary. But that's for a year. Once again, we don't pay every year, we pay every month. So all I'm going to do now is just take that amount and divide by 12, and now we have our monthly salary. This is what you roughly will be making per month. Now remember what the rule was. You want to spend somewhere between 25 to 30% of your gross income. So now the question is, what is 25 to 30% of this amount of money right here? So we're just going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it 2 times now. So if I take my monthly salary and I multiply by 25%, which you can see I changed to a decimal, 0.25, you can see we get $780. That's the minimum. Okay. If I take this, $30,120, times it by 30%, which I changed to a decimal, 0.30, you can see we get a $936 maximum. So to sum it all up, our final solution is this. If you're making $18 an hour and working a full-time 40-hour week job, you should be able to afford somewhere between $780 and $936 per month on rent. This is video 1. There's going to be plenty more videos. If you look up at the top corner, there's going to be a link right up there to go to all the other videos that have to do with week 1 worksheets. This is Mr. Boyle. Bye-bye.